Hello, 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 hello. Good morning, good afternoon, and it's a good morning, isn't it? Benjamin Šeško, deal done, agreed, arrives in Manchester this evening. We've got him, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, got him, got him, got him. Let's pull the sheet up from Mr. Ornstein. Let's pull it up. Air Šeško in route. There we go. Mr. Ornstein said, oh, I got this thing. I've got it. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. It's my little box here because I've got it wrong. My box is a little messy. Good Lord. There we go. Okay. Anyway, agreement in principle with RB Leipzig to sign Šeško, deal for 22-year-old striker, 76.5 million euros plus 8.5 million euros. Given permission to fly and do medical before completing Manchester United move. Now, take a look here. I was just following up on this one because you can learn a lot from flights, and I was just talking with somebody about this because there's a couple of people that kind of work with Šeško. And same as the other day when I got the idea, we had a meeting with somebody. I was following up on a thing here. And from my understanding, that somebody had gone to join him today to essentially someone that would join him to do the final details. And then we had this flight that was scheduled Leipzig to Manchester at 5 o'clock. This has got to be him. This has got to be him. We've been looking at this, and I was just saying, like, not 2 minutes before Ornstein's thing in the Discord, this is it. This is the flight. He's coming. It's done. They've got it scheduled. Top X for the top X striker in England. That's terrible. Thank you, Glenn, for the gifted memberships. Add Baleba and goalkeeper. It's title charge. Absolutely, Schwan. But yeah, this looks like it's him. I think this is him. 5 p.m. coming in hot. What's up, buddy? Want to come say hi? You can come say hi, just briefly.
At Bailband, a GK equals title charge.
All right. But yeah, this is definitely him. This is definitely him as well. Flying in. Let me screenshot this and post it. This is definitely him. I know, that was terrible. That was one of the worst puns in history. But it's exciting times. It's exciting times. Exciting times. Deal is agreed. That's a good deal. That's a good deal. That's a good deal. I'm happy with the deal. I'm happy we didn't have to go all the way up. We've matched the total fee that Newcastle proposed, 85 million euros total, right? If my math is right. But we've gotten slightly better structure. I think the biggest thing here, biggest question we have, let's take a look. Oh, wrong button. Let's take a look at this. If there's anything in this article, is the installments, because it's the cash outlay that is going to a lower guaranteed fee. Will be happy if the contingency payments are received. So it's going to be like the add-ons are going to be like goals and things like that. Yeah. So the question is the cash outlay. We don't know, but here's the crazy part. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Am I more optimistic? I got on board Šeško Sunday. I'm fully on the Sesko train. I'm gonna have to go on KG's channel though. Tomorrow we're gonna do a video, and have to apologize for my takes previously and all of that. But because I was against it, I took that position. I've got to be accountable.
Remember when people were shitting on Ineos saying they were having a historically bad window and they were as bad as the Glazers? Patience is a virtue.
I know. I know.
If we're moving for Baelba, we must have got favorable terms with Leipzig.
Potentially. Let's talk about that. So one thing on that halftime, I mean, it is funny. It is funny because 2.5 weeks ago when Mbumo was stalled, it was like, it was like this horrible thing, like this crazy, like, oh my God, everything's screwed. It's all terrible, yada, yada, right? 2.5 weeks later, you've got protesters revising their protest because of the backlash about including Ineos and Sir Jim in their protest. And we've got 2 more big signings in the door, and we're going for another, and you can see what happens. You just got to wait and see. We all get too reactionary. If we're moving for Baleba, must have got favorable terms Leipzig. Well, that's potentially. Sammy, thank you for the gifted memberships. Here we go. Let's go. Here's the thing on that, right? On the favorable on the finances. So when I was in Chicago, conversation that I had, I was told that after Mbumo and after Cunha, we had spent less cash than we originally intended to with Delap and Cunha because of the release clause, and that means we must have got favorable terms on the payment terms for Mbumo. I would assume we've got decently favorable terms on Šeško. There's a world here where we've spent the same amount of cash on Cunha, Mbumo, and Šeško now. We've now spent the cash we had lined up this window. Like, just realize that. We may have now spent the cash we had lined up this window. But what else did we get? 15 million in sell-ons, though again, we might not have got all the cash for that right off the bat. We've saved 15 million in Rashford wages. That's cash. That's cash this 12-month period between now and next summer. Not today, but it is cash we could borrow against safely because we know we're saving that money in our financial outlook. Baby slat, oh boy.
Baby slat, champagne bottle emoji, champagne bottle emoji, champagne bottle
yeah, look,
emoji, champagne bottle
nobody
emoji,
expected that when the window started. Nobody expected that when the window started for sure, but it's been big. It's been huge. And obviously we've done better than expected. There is no doubt about that. We've done better than expected. I do, of course, I think it's a huge fee for Sesko. I think it's a risk. I think it's a potentially like it's a risk. It's a risk. For real, it's a risk. But it's a risk that they feel comfortable taking. Now, if you can add Baleba, that's my Baleba on top of that, then it becomes an even more tenable risk simply because you have another proven player in the squad around the Šeško to do it. And the crazy part is, starting the window, if we'd won that final against Tottenham, it would be Sesko at Arsenal and Gyökeres at United. I guarantee it. I'm 100% sure of that. We didn't, and now it's flipped. I hope it works out better for us. I hope it turns out to be a blessing in disguise, and Gyökeres flops. And I would be so happy to be wrong. You have no idea. I'm an accountable person. I love learning and being wrong. I hope I was totally wrong. I hope Gyökeres is a shit. I think he's going to score a decent number of goals, but I hope he sucks, and I hope that Šeško is incredible and all of that. But I'm excited. It's going to be Šeško versus Gyökeres in game 1. It's going to be Šeško versus Gyökeres in game 1. It's going to be. We got the wool pulled over our eyes, but money well spent. Let's go for a quality midfielder to complete this window. Not expected, but a pleasant surprise. For sure. Absolutely. Sorry, the alerts have been going in and out. I'm trying to turn them back on again for you wanted to read it. Yeah, we did. I mean, to a degree, we did. You know what I'm saying? Like, to a degree, we got the wool pulled over our eyes. I'm gonna be real with you guys. You don't have to believe me, but some of you will, because if you followed me, you'll kind of know what I've spoken about from the beginning. When we signed in Bumo, I said we probably could get a striker in. But if you ask them, they're going to want you to believe we can't. Do you remember that? I'm just saying, do you remember that? Then I decided, and I think I even said this on one of the videos. I think I even said, I probably should say we can't afford a striker because that's what the club would want. Yeah, he's flying. He's flying at 5 o'clock, guys. That's the flight. We don't have to question it. I know for a fact, that his agent and some other people involved in the deal arrived in Leipzig in the last couple of hours to move this forward, and he will be flying tonight. I know that for a fact. Okay, that is for sure. That's what's scheduled. He's not in the air yet, but that's what's scheduled, and that should be in the next hour or two that he will be flying. So, yeah.
Be interesting to see how Rasmus reacts to Sesko arrival. I have my concerns on the signing. I was in favor of Watkins but will back the signing OFC.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. I'm in total agreement with you. I was in favor of Watkins, back into signings, have my concerns. I hope it works out really, really well. And now it's time to have that discussion with Rasmus. Only one person said United would buy 3 forwards. Well done on that, James. Correct. And that I said earlier on. Now, I wanted to do the club line because I thought it would be better, wouldn't it, for our negotiations? Like, why blow up the game? You know what I mean? Why blow up the game? And we didn't. And I'm proud of myself. And we didn't blow up the game until they were already deep into things, into the into this move. I need to find my tweet because I tweeted that we had 2 down, 1 to go. And now I need to tweet. Yeah, he's flying today. He is flying. I'm sure of that. The forwards are incapable of finding that. Hard to argue with. 3 wanted, May 25th. Let's tweet it. Here we go.
Sesko fund now becomes Bailba fund.
True. Let me go change that while we're sitting here live. While we're live. I'm happy we missed out on Quenda. Yeah. The question is, do we have more money? Let's change the Bailaba fund. Hold on. Let me go to the Streamlabs. We need 2 strikers anyways. Rasmus. But we have 2 strikers, Marcus. I don't disagree with you totally, except we have an issue now. We've got Cheeto who needs minutes. We have Xerxes, and we have the potential for both Cunha and Mbumo to play in that position.
Would you take a cash loan to fund Bailba this summer if needed? When
Yes.
Casemiro expires,
Yes.
that will cover the
Yes.
PSR side of things anyway from 26-27.
Immediately, yes. Yes. The answer is yes to that. And I think that is the thinking to a degree, right? Is that
On the KG train of reading between the lines of everything you say and the look on your face, 'cause so many times you drop things in that could be missed.
You're totally right, Glenn. You're totally right, Glenn. He calls it soft launching when I do that, and that is true. But I appreciate that. All right, I've changed it to the Baleba Fund. I gotta get that name right. I was first on Mbumo on getting his name right, and now I need to get my Baleba name correct. No. You haven't missed the Baleba section. We're just gonna get into that. But look, yes, tomorrow the new training ground is officially unveiled. Sir Jim will be present. He paid for it. He's present for it. He'll be there for a few hours tomorrow to go over to obviously be there as a part of it. There's going to be journalists, there's going to be pictures, there's going to be things like that. One of the really great things here is that we actually have the facilities. We actually have, like, literally, not using the euphemism or saying, we actually have the facilities to complete and do deals in full at Carrington, the full medical, the full everything. So it's going to be very exciting for new players to arrive and see this new facility. Benjamin Šeško is going to be arriving to, rather than the disappointment of, Ronaldo coming back and saying, what the hell, this place sucks, so let's run down, the hot tub's broken. Sesko will be arriving to a brand new, beautiful facility. And I think all of these marginal gains add up. People being happy when they arrive at United, people seeing a new facility, Cunha and Mbumo coming back from the tour and it's a new facility. 10 gifted from Jason Temiolakis. As always, thank you, Jason, for helping us with this and participating and supporting the channel and everything. It's beautiful. £2 closer to Baleba. You're welcome, Sir Jim. Thank you. Halftime. Let's go. We are getting dangerously close to needing a statue. I'm not gonna go that far yet. Okay, I'm not gonna go that far yet. Okay, I'm not gonna do that game because that's I don't want to idealize billionaires. Okay, but he's doing a good job. All right, he's doing a good job. Hold on a sec. What am I being tagged in? All right, hold on. Apparently, I'm looking at this. Plettenberg says, to make the deal possible, Sesko agreed to waive part of his salary. Of his salary, he could have earned more at Newcastle. His agency, led by Elvis Basanovic, has also given up a significant share of the commission. Oh, I love this. I love this. Oh, I love it. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I love this. I love this. Hey. I love it. Let me find that.
A marginal gain for James.
Sorry, what? Is this a marginal gain for James? There you go. Thank you. Is this the best training center now? It is. It is. It is the best training center in the world. It is. But I would see someone else prove this, but there's other people who've hinted at the same things yesterday. Hold on. Sorry, let me pull the tweet up. It says, to make the deal with Manchester United possible, waiving his salary and giving up some of his commission. I love that. I love that. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. That makes me happier. So, if true, I'm going to believe it because I want to believe it right now, okay? But we're Manchester United. So, we're Manchester United. The Chicago Fire one's pretty sweet. I was there. It was nice. I bet you Carrington's nicer. You know what? Nice, you're probably right. There probably are college training centers that are nicer. But, to be fair, I was more speaking on football clubs. But look, all of these things matter. A couple other things I want to mention before I forget. All right. Number one, last night it was late. Well, I shouldn't say last night. Because I've spoken about this, but anyway, it doesn't matter. It is believed that Chelsea are moving forward more on Garnacho on that side of it. My understanding is that United will need the money from Garnacho very likely to help get the money that they would need in place for Baleba, because that is a serious target. On Baleba, I would also add that one of the strategies there is they're probably willing to pay more money is if they can get better payment terms. The payment terms are going to be more important than the price. We're not really in danger on PSR, like, at all, just by the way. Like, we're just not. They would be willing to stretch this summer. The biggest thing is they'd be willing to stretch this summer and pay for it later because
Sounds great,
of
but
the
I don't
situation.
think we are paying him less than he was on at Leipzig. Maybe
Oh
it
yeah,
was
no,
just
less than he would have got
was
at
going to be
Newcastle.
earning at
Yes,
Newcastle,
correct,
which is still
correct.
great.
For sure, he's not taking a pay cut from Leipzig. I think he's coming in on 150 to 175 to us. Okay. So yeah. In the end, I believe we'll accept close to that 30 to 35 million. 30 to 40 for Garnacho. Now, part of that comes down to if we start to get like a little bit of a hint on the price on Baleba, on what becomes more possible. So I don't think we're gonna rush here. I think we're gonna do things at the same kind of like pace. There's the talks with Chelsea over Garnacho. We're gonna do all of those little things at the same time. Where if we start to think the Baleba one becomes possible, we might push a deal through to sell faster to use that money quickly. That's the main thing. Then in addition, the Benfica Antony news, very reliable report from Benfica Antony and for Brazilian players, Bruno and Andre there, says that what did my guy send me on this? He says that Benfica have asked us about it. They said that we've quoted 50 million euros. They offered a loan with obligation or to partially buy him like they tried with João Felix. Now, I don't think we will do this partial ownership thing. I do think we might be willing to do a loan with obligation at a lower fee because of the ways that we can count that right away. Again, I think the club are showing that they'd be willing to borrow against future revenue as well. Okay, so from a cash standpoint. So that should be okay. So things are cooking. Things are cooking at the moment, and we're certainly like moving serious in this market. We're moving seriously right now. We are moving seriously in this market. Now, are we done? Clearly not. Clearly not. Because we want a midfielder. We still want a goalkeeper. We kind of know that. And the question now becomes, what can we do? What can we do? What can we figure out? It's about the money now. But the fact that we approached Brighton was or made those moves on Brighton was already a signal that we are on our way. That we are on our way on Šeško, and we're trying to do it. Oh no, don't worry, Jail. That's okay. I know that there's a reflection, and people can see stuff on my screen. I'm not particularly worried about it. I wasn't looking at it. I don't look at anything dangerous, while I'm on streams. But thank you for that. But yeah, look. One of the things there's actually a few things happening right now. Number one, there's a bit more talk about Rasmus Højlund and AC Milan. Okay. I know. I need to put like that anti-reflecting spray just because it bothers me. I'm less worried about people being able to see stuff in it because it's going to be pixelated than I am worried about like it's just kind of annoying to have it behind my head and reflect that way. So I need to like do something to reduce the glare. But anyway, we have a few things. AC Milan and Højlund. AC Milan and Højlund. There's still more talk of a potential loan there. United now need to have that conversation with Rasmus. Okay, we don't know. We don't know how he's going to respond to that yet. But the feeling is that if we push on it, that he will have to accept his move. Secondly, Antony to Benfica. There's more clubs and talks there. Thirdly, I have a strong feeling SJ is buying more United, not as close, and some huge sponsorship comes in. I have that feeling as well. Thirdly, Mason Greenwood to Saudi is a serious topic at this point. It is a real story. Let's see what happens with that. That is real. There's things that Saudi rumors that are not true. Like when we spoke about Casemiro and Onana earlier in the window, and I said those are not true. Greenwood to Saudi is true. It does have some truth, and we would get some money on that deal as well. Garnacho to Chelsea. Those are the main ones. Now, what the hell is happening with Jadon Sancho? Nobody knows, and I don't know at all. I have absolutely no clue. He's seriously in danger of ending up in the reserves for the rest of the season, which is wild. Yeah.
Someone check on the Newcastle vape squad.
Someone check. I know. I know. But yeah, it is true at least that they're trying to. I'm not saying it's done. I'm saying that the talk about a potential deal there is apparently real. So we will see on that. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with Sancho. There were, I think, talks with Dortmund.
Smash the like, Sesko, here we go. Fire emoji. Bailba next.
Thank you.
Cool
yes, please do smash
emoji.
the like button. Please do smash the like button. There were talks.
If this is how we act without Europe, imagine how we'd acted we finished in CL places / won the Europa.
I'll get to that. There were talks between us and Dortmund, I believe, on Tuesday. It was the same day. There were talks between Sancho and Dortmund, or between. It was something. It was something between us and Dortmund on Tuesday. It might have been just Sancho and his agent and such going in between, but there was some sort of dialogue about Dortmund and Sancho on Tuesday at the same time as we were having some more discussions on Šeško right before making our bid. So maybe I have no idea where that one's at, and I start to feel like it's never going to happen. Now, if this is how we'd act without Europe, imagine how we'd act had we finished in Champions League places, won Europa. Good point. Now, nobody believed Ruben Amorim when he said something a long time ago. You remember what he said? He said, if we got Champions League, it would just mean one more player. It seems like he was right. Our plan, maybe we switched. It would have been Gyökeres instead of Šeško because we would have got him first potentially. But we would have done the same plan. If we got in Champions League, what would we have done? We probably get the goalkeeper in too, and we probably get a center back in too. That's it. Otherwise, same shit. Same shit. And we'd have a bit more money for this Baleba deal to be a bit more certain. But otherwise, remember, the plan is always the same with Ineos, with this membership, with this ownership. The plan is always the same. Start to finish. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? It's the same plan. It's just how far can we go? The money we have just dictates how far we can go. The plan is the same. Obviously, within that plan, you've got variations. You've got, you've got this player. You have alternative targets. You're not always getting the exact same player, but the plan is the same from start to finish. The plan is the same from start to finish, and they want to finish this squad. To finish this squad, we need Baleba, we need a goalkeeper, we need a center back. And then we may need one or more players next summer in addition to that. So whether this summer or next, Baleba, a goalkeeper, a center back, and then I think one more player who can play in the wings, in the wing back positions. That's the plan. So we already know what we're going to do next summer because it's the same thing we would have done this summer if we have more money. It's the same plan, moving through that. You guys remember my wonderful arrow graphic? I don't know if I still
Based on
have it.
this window, what are your season's expectations? RA has little to no wiggle room now.
Top
He's
5.
been backed, which
Top
is
5.
what we want to see.
Top 5. If we get Baleba,
If
anything in
players have to
Champions
go
League is
to fund
fine.
Baleba,
Anything in Champions League is fine. I'll answer that question in a second. He needs top 5. And if we get Baleba, it doesn't. Here's the thing, right? We can't. I know I'm going over the top. The expectation won't be a title charge if we get Baleba. Okay, the expectation won't be a title charge if we get Baleba. We know that because it's not just about getting the right players. Oh, thank you, Jimmy. I'll pull that up. Thank you, Jimmy. I'll pull that up. Appreciate it. It's not just about getting the right players, but there is a chemistry that has to build. You're not going to win a title in the first season rebuilding an entire squad, okay? You're not going to do that. Even though I think we can. Even though I'm dreaming, right? But the expectation will be Champions League. And we will need to show really good form as well, especially second half of the season. We must be competitive. And then the next year, we should be in the competition. Not necessarily there, but not necessarily winning. It's not like he's going to get sacked if we don't win, but then the next year we should be competing for the title. Hold on. Let me find my wonderful graphic that will answer this that Jimmy tagged me in. Hold on here. Na, 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 na. My wonderful, amazing, better than anything graphic, because that's me. I am a graphical, artistic. Change one word in the word artistic, and you get what I am. Genius. Here we go. The graphic. Now the names are changing. The names are changing. That's the point here. Here, because this was like made way early on, but let's take a look at it. So we had Cunha, then we got Mbumo, and then we were going to get a striker. So this is This is finally done. Then we were going to get a midfielder. So this might be Baleba. Then a goalkeeper. Lamens still an option. Some central center back, and then don't know. This was a little bit of a guess. Maybe it's another midfielder. Maybe it's another wing back. We'll see at that time. But this is the plan: striker, athletic midfielder, keeper, central center back. So we're done with this. This is Šeško now. We're moving on to this. So you can see that my arrow, even though there's a variation in the names, is accurate. It's accurate. Okay? It's accurate. It's ready. It's working. We've moved through. Very high tech. This is I hear how they do it in the board meetings at the top level. That's what I hear. So yeah. But we'll need another mid next year when Casemiro. Well, maybe it might be Balebo, Ugarte, Bruno, Menu is probably enough. It might be enough. It just depends. It depends, you know. So yeah, yeah. Mid goalkeeper, center back, something else. Don't know. Yeah, that was a classic. Exactly. This is how I teach people in business. You got to keep things simple. If it's not simple enough that a 5-year-old can understand it, and it looks like a 5-year-old made it, then people aren't going to understand it because people overestimate, the intelligence of the people they're speaking with all the time. You got to make it real simple. So if it's easy if it's enough that a 5-year-old can understand it, then you're good. That's the rule. Can I show the lineup at the beginning versus now of summer? Yeah, maybe in a minute. Maybe in a minute. Maybe in a minute. I'm of the understanding we can buy Baleba before sales. Do we do this again? Do we do this again? Technically, no, we cannot. We need some sales. We got to sell some players. We totally got to sell some players. We got to raise some funds. Guys, give me 1 second. I just need to grab my coffee. I haven't had my coffee. I made it. I made it, but I haven't had it yet. I need to just grab it.
Will be interesting if K1 on loan heats back up. They're high on their Baleba chances.
Just had to get my coffee. Thank you. It's early. It's in the hot. It was in the hot pot. It's a brew, so it was kept warm. It was kept warm. I'm here. Just coffee. Just coffee, straight black. Nothing in it. I love the taste of straight black coffee. One of those weird people. We're clearly broke right now. Yes. But yeah, you know why I stopped the mushroom coffee? I'm scared because I'm one of those people like, so I started drinking mushroom coffee. Now, at the same time, there was a whole bunch of other stuff. Like I wasn't drinking enough water, wasn't doing all sorts of things like that, blah blah blah. And then I got kidney stones, but I was like, but I also started drinking this mushroom coffee like 2 weeks earlier. I'm not saying it caused it, but I'm the type of person where like if I do something and then something bad happens, I'm just going to cut out any new thing I did in the recent run up to that bad thing. Like if I get sick and I was like, "Oh, I did something new or I ate something new recently," I'm just going to cut that out and say maybe it was the cause of it, you know? It probably wasn't, but it's just how I am. So I've been sitting there like maybe I should, maybe I wouldn't, maybe I shouldn't. Um, it's actually all right, the mushroom coffee. It's actually all right. Oh, the flight for Šeško's in the next 50. You're right. It is, because they're an hour ahead of us, huh? Let's see if it takes off. Because a lot of times when it's the players, it gets delayed a little bit because maybe they're not quite ready. For legal purposes, I'm not implying in any sense that the mushroom coffee was the reason. It's just how I am. Chelsea have opened up talks with Manchester United over a move for Alejandro Garnacho. Here we go. Chelsea have opened up talks. So I was just saying that that's been moving forward. We've got an article from The Athletic. Boom, there you go. I'm glad I said it. I was just saying that that's been moving. 10 minutes ago I said on this stream that that's moving forward. Here we go. We've got an article by David Ornstein. Here it is. Here we go. Just out. Chelsea have stepped up talks with Manchester United over a move for Alejandro Garnacho. Talks have advanced, and Garnacho expects to move.
Is there a decent chance of Mason
This is what
Greenwood
he's always
moving on
wanted,
from
by the way.
Marseille this summer? United would benefit decently
Yes, you got
from their
Roz. There's some
sell-on
talk
fee.
about Al Nasser. Well, unfortunately, no. I spoke about it yesterday, but regardless. Yeah, that's not going to be the price. Does it say anything else in particular? Anyway, Garnacho's been holding out for Chelsea. Yeah, talk about Gonzo, Sammy, right? Another banger from Gonzo. Right? No, no, but yeah, here we go. Here we go. This is it. This is the Baleba fund. This is the Baleba fund. Here we go. This is the Baleba fund. Let's go. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah. So Sully wrote this morning too. That's good. But yeah, we were just talking about this. They're stepping up talks for him. I'm not sure what they're going to offer, but it looks like this is one that can happen now. Like I said, I think United's strategy is going to be able to play this kind of cool. I think that if we feel a deal for Baleba is becoming plausible, we will open it up a little bit more and just make sure we get a deal done. Chelsea expect to do it for 30. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I could see it. I could see it. I could see it happening. I could see it happening. Um, 30 plus some add-ons or something. I would just get him gone. I'm not gonna. Let's poll it. Let's poll it, my guys, because you got to bear in mind. We just need the money. Like, we just need the money. We just need the money. Elanga for 55, but Elanga's a lot better than Alejandro Garnacho. Would you sell for 30 million plus add-ons? I want to know your guys' opinion. I get why people wouldn't. I get it. I'm not saying he's worth 30 million. He's clearly worth more. Okay? Don't get me wrong here. He's clearly worth more than 30 million. That's not my point.
Make straight cash an option in the poll.
Straight cash? Yeah, what if it's 30 million cash? Money? Yes, good question. What if it's 30 million cash? Bang, allows us to throw a big deal at it. Now, bear in mind, it's all profit. Elanga isn't better than Garnacho. He absolutely is. He absolutely is. He absolutely is better than Garnacho. I don't know what to tell you. Elanga last season had 6 goals, 11 assists. In his prior season, 5 goals, 9 assists. That's 14 goals and assists in the Premier League and 17 goals and assists in the Premier League.
Shouldn't have made the probs with him public.
Garnacho got 11 was his max. 7 goals, 4 assists, 6 goals, 2 assists in the last 2 seasons. Elanga is a much better player than Alejandro Garnacho. He's been better both of the last 2 seasons. I think that people have, and Elanga is more physical. He's faster. He's better suited to the Premier League as well. So Elanga is just a better player. I mean, you're talking about almost double the goals and assists over the last 2 seasons combined. You're talking about 30 goals and assists for Elanga over 2 seasons, and you're talking about 19 for Garnacho. I mean, he's significantly better, for sure. Sorry, but he is. And then you look at the other factors that go into that. You know, the team play, the things like that, you know. I mean, Alonga's just turned 23. It's not like he's old.
How much would 30M be worth in regards to PSR?
How much would it would be enough for Baleba, PSR wise? It's enough. Because if 30 million will fund,
how much do we need to fund Baleba? Given
30
that
million
we
would
have
fund
no
100k
money,
a week
winking face emoji,
and 120 million in PSR in one season, mind you. But honestly, if we could get it in cash, I would take 30 million. But it's going to be 50-50 because look, the fact of the matter is that he's worth more than 30 million. He's worth more than 30 million. We know that. He's worth more than 30 million. We know. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't let him go for whatever we can get at this point in time. You take the attitude issues, you take all of that stuff. Here's the thing, you guys. People have been rating Alejandro Garnacho too highly for quite a while. Last season, I said Madueke was better than Alejandro Garnacho, and people were like, no, he's not better than You're insane. You're insane. He's not better. But Arsenal are willing to pay 55 million for Madueke. I'm sorry, but people don't rate Garnacho like people here do. He's been so overrated by United fans, and this is essentially why part of the reason why things went the way that they did. He's ended up overrating himself. You know, there's so many aspects of team football, so many aspects of like of everything that go into what is a good player. It's not just about can they run, you know, and kick the ball. Like there's so many things that go together to make a good footballer and to make a good team player. And I think that people constantly underrate that. Like the simple fact is he could be more talented. That doesn't make him a better footballer. Talent is not the only thing in what makes a better footballer. There's talent, there's application, and there's attitude. Garnacho has one of those. There's a lot of players who have three of those, and the sum total of those three things is often greater than one. That's how I say. That's how I see it. That's all. That's my view. Let's look at, by the way, you want to talk about ages and numbers and things like that, okay? Let's look at a few things. Anthony Elanga has played 6,700 domestic minutes, okay? So you want to talk about like development, okay? It's only 1,000 minutes difference, 1,400 minutes difference. It's really not that different. You look at total minutes, 8,361. Like again, people use that age thing a little bit, but it's not really age. It's how much they've played. He's played more minutes than Anthony Elanga. He's played more minutes than Anthony Elanga. You understand that? So he's not, even though he's a little bit younger, he's played more minutes already. So experience-wise, he's a more experienced player than Anthony Elanga. That's why I say Anthony Elanga is a better player. That's just how I see it. But regardless, he's not wanted at United. He doesn't want to be at United, and Emram doesn't want him. So we should sell him for whatever it takes to get it done. It's the same for both of them. They're both academy players. There's only like 1,000 academy minutes built into that, by the way. There might actually be more academy minutes for Elanga in there. There is. It's actually worse. Garnacho has more than 2,000. He has almost a full season more first team minutes than Anthony Elanga. So yeah, you know, did we destroy Garnacho? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. We totally did. We totally did. Putting the way that he was pushed into the front, the way that he played every game, the way that they tried to make him into the Ronaldo, you know, to the next Ronaldo and stuff, for sure. All of that was super damaging. All of that was super damaging. Should never do that, and I hope we never do that stuff again. We spoke about that. I spoke about that with Bearded Genius Nas yesterday. We were talking about that, about why we did that. About why we did that. He obviously, of course, he shares blame in that. Of course, he shares blame in that too. But United made some decisions that caused problems. So Philip Hines says, Leipzig and Manchester United have additionally agreed on a joint friendly match in Leipzig as part of the Šeško transfer. The friendly would generate 1.5 to 2 million euros for Leipzig. They've also secured a sell-on clause. They agreed 85 million, including bonuses, easy to achieve. There are no unrealistic conditions. It's worth around 90 million to Leipzig. Interesting. We've agreed a friendly. That's some smart negotiation there. Good lord, that is quite interesting. Now we're cooking, man. We're doing this off the books shit, like, extra benefits. This is the kind of business I expect from a club of this size, to just do the things, do the crazy things, do the things that nobody else is expecting. That's pretty smart. Those are some agile negotiations. Let's see. The flight, has it taken off in 1 minute? Oh, it's delayed an hour. This is him. It's him. The flight was delayed an hour and 15 minutes. It's him. This is what always happens when we have these player flights. It's booked in the morning. We think we're getting it done, and then and it's gonna and then the flight always gets delayed a little bit because there's a few more things to do. So this is for sure him. So now it's delayed to an hour and 15 minutes. So it's going to be an hour and 15 minutes from now. But yeah, this is good negotiations, relationships. Having good relationships with a club like Leipzig is smart. It's smart. It's smart too. Like doing things like this will sweeten the line. If there's a player we want in the future, there's going to be a very open and positive relationship between us at this point. Yeah, the medical will probably be done tomorrow. Yeah. Maybe during everything. I don't know. Maybe before all the media event and stuff. Don't know. He said sell-on clause. Now, the sell-on clause I don't love. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Because if the deal doesn't work out, that sell-on clause can come back to bite us. But on the case of any future transfer surplus, never mind. Not worried about it. Never mind. It does say surplus, so it's on the profit. So that's not an issue. Never mind. Cancel my statement. I retract. Yeah, it does. You're right. Yeah, I just noticed that. I went to look. It says transfer surplus.
Do you think we include a sell-on for Garner deal?
Do you think we include a sell-on for? Yeah, we should. We should as well. 30 million add-ons, sell-on. Yeah. Yep. So what's happening then, guys? Because I gotta get to some other things. I've got a video with KG I'm gonna post in like 30-40 minutes about Baleba. So make sure you watch that. I'm gonna do a podcast with Phil today to catch up because there's a lot to talk about, and then I may be live again later. So there may be like 4 videos today. So I'm gonna end this on the hour, on like the hour mark in like 5-6 minutes. But I want to catch up on what's happening. Let me do this poll first. Hold on, and then I want to give some summaries on what's happening, my information, my understanding, where we are in the window, and what's happening next. I'm just gonna do my like poll because I need more people to like this. No, the flight is not landed. The flight is not landed. The flight is taken off, it looks like, in an hour and 15 minutes. So, where are we at? There's a lot of stuff to talk about. Number one, Šeško, done deal, on his way in about an hour and 15 minutes. Will be able to do his full medical at Carrington, at the newly renovated Carrington, which is opening tomorrow. Sir Jim will be present. Grand opening tomorrow. The players are already there. So we'll get tons of pictures, tons of info, tons of stuff on the whole updated Carrington. On that. Garnacho to Chelsea, on, and talks are happening. Anthony and Benfica, talks happening. Looks like United might be interested there. There could be a deal there. Rasmus Højlund, there's still interest from 2 or 3 other clubs. Now that Sesko's arriving, it might be time to have this discussion. We'll see how Rasmus responds, but the intention is to have a discussion with him either today or yesterday in order to discuss his future with him now. So we'll see what comes out of that. I don't know what's come out of that yet. I'm sure somebody will report it. We'll see if we can find out. But that discussion will or has happened over his future. What was the other thing that I wanted to say? Who was the other player? We could raise some money from Greenwood to Al Nasser. That's potential. We're still interested in a keeper, Lamens or Donnarumma. As I understand it, with Donnarumma, the issue is more his wages are way higher than we would want to pay, and that makes it difficult for a deal to want to happen here. But we also are most likely going to need to move on by India still to get a keeper in. But you never know with these guys. That's the word anyway. That's the line. We'll see. I think Lamens is probably still a little more possible because the cost would be significantly lower, and the deal for him might be worse. For Donnarumma might be just too much. Baleba, the interest is dead serious. He's a player we really like. He's a player that's viewed as perfect, and part of the opinion is that we would want to move. It would be more difficult to do later than do now. So if we can get some of the money in, get some of the sales in, then it looks like a deal we're going to try to accomplish. We're going through the same steps as usual, talks with his people, make sure he's open to it. As I understand it, he is open to it. As I understand it, there's some encouragement on that side. And but how far does that encouragement go? How far does he push on Brighton? How far does he want to make that happen? How far does he want to do that? How far can he help us? Can he help us nail down a number with Brighton that we can throw at? The numbers I heard yesterday were that they were going to ask between 90 and 100, and we were going to look again at like the 70 to 80. But that's probably a starting point. I think in the end we're going to have to pay 100 to get this deal done. But we're going to need him to help us nail down a price and to work on this negotiation as well. So it's far from a sure thing, but I very strongly feel they want to push on it. If we don't get a Baleba, then will we go for an alternative? I'm not so sure. We might sit on it and come back again next summer on that deal or line something up for later. If he's viewed as the perfect player, I'm not sure if we will compromise on that. I think we might just come back to it later on. So that's what I've got. Lot up in the air, a lot happening in the next few days. Let's end it here. Let's see what happens on all of this. Šeško on his way soon, like in an hour now, he'll be looking to fly in. Okay, check out the video on Baleba with KG later in a little bit. Check out the podcast later, and I will catch you guys on the flippity flop. But please do like the video on your way out, okay?